First, we need to talk about what is a credit. Most courses are worth 1 credit. There are some courses worth half credits and some are worth 2 credits. It takes 24 credits to graduate, and all credits calculate into your GPA and class rank. Every class you take at the high school level counts. Every class earns at least half a credit, most of them 1, and every class goes into your GPA and class rank. There are 24 credits required for a high school diploma in South Carolina. Those credits are 4 English, 4 math, 3 science, one of which has to be biology, 3 social studies, one of which has to be U.S. history, and you have to take American government and economics. You have to have either a PE or an ROTC class, a computer science credit. You have to have 1 career and technology elective or a world language, and 7 electives. One thing that people get confused on is that you do not have to have a world language in order to earn your high school diploma. You have to have either a career technology elective or a world language. There are slightly different requirements if you want to go straight to a 4-year college or university. You have to have 4 English credits. The 4 math credits have to be Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, and a 4th higher level math. You have to have 3 lab sciences. Lab sciences are biology, chemistry, physics, or any science which biology and or chemistry is a prerequisite. You have to have 3 social studies. You have to have 2 world languages in the same language. That means you have to have Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 or French 1 and French 2. Clemson and the College of Charleston require 3. You have to have 1 elective. For our students, the computer science counts as their elective. You have to have 1 fine arts class, and again, you have to have either a PE or an ROTC. To be promoted from one grade to the next in high school depends on what credits you have earned. To be promoted to the 10th grade, second-year students must have earned at least 5 credits, 1 in English and 1 in math. To go to the 11th grade, you must have 11 credits, 2 in English and 2 in math. And to get to the 12th grade, 4th-year students must have at least 16 credits, 2 in English, and attendance is also very important in high school. A student has to be in attendance in a class for so many hours for them to earn the credit. If you're in a 45-day course, you must attend 42 days. If you're in a 90-day course, which is typical for us as a typical semester course, a student must attend 85 days. And if you're in a year-long course for 180 days, you must attend 170 days. Of course, if you have medical excuses or court excuses, those don't count against you, but you have to be in class with excused absences for the amount of days that the class is worth. Let's look at Lexington High School's schedule. We have what we call a modified block schedule. That means that most classes are 90 days. Most middle school classes go all year long. Those are 180 days. We do have some classes that are embedded. Embedded means that they do go all year long. The 90-day classes are 80 minutes for 1 semester. The embedded classes are 40 minutes all year long. The 90-day classes go very quickly. If you think about the classes you're taking in middle school that go all year long, we're going to take the same curriculum and we're going to shorten it to half a year. So missing 1 day at high school is kind of like missing 2 days in middle school. So you want to be sure that you're here and learning. We're also going to talk about what Lex Flex is. It's an 80-minute block scheduled into your day. You're going to have 80 minutes called Lex Flex. During that time, you can go eat lunch. You can go to some of our labs to get extra help in English or math, social studies, science, world language, and fine arts. That's a time for you to make up tests or to retake tests. You could also use it as your homework time, and you can use it as research if you need to use our Learning Commons. LexFlex gives you the opportunity to do a lot of things that you normally would have had to do outside of school during school. For the modified block scheduling, You have 4 classes first semester and 4 classes second semester. We have 5 blocks first semester and 5 blocks second semester. So this is what it looks like. First semester's on the left. You can see there's 5 80-minute blocks, and second semester's on the right. Your Lex Flex will fall in either second block, middle block, or third block. If you are taking an embedded class, you will have 3 80-minute classes first semester, 3 80-minute classes second semester, 2 40-minute classes all year long. And this is what your schedule would look like. First semester, you would have 2 80-block classes, 80-minute block classes, and then you would go into an embedded block where you would do your 40-minute class, then you would have your Lex Flex for 80 minutes, and then you would take another 40-minute class. You can see those go all year long. Whereas first, second, and fourth blocks, you will change classes at the midterm, and that's a total of 8 credits. Freshman courses are offered at different levels. We have the college prep level, the honors level, and the AP level. All of the classes taught at Lexington High School are taught at the college prep level and above. Your 8th grade teachers are going to recommend academic levels based on your current performance and test scores. You will learn what these recommendations are when you attend your IGP conference with your 8th grade counselor. For the honors level, most students who scored exemplary on PASS and 75% or above on MAP will likely do very well in an honors class. You'll find it exciting and you'll probably end up with an A or a B. If you scored MET on PASS and you're in the 50th to 75th percentile on MAP, you will most likely do fine in an honors class. You're going to find it challenging. You're going to have to work at it, and you'll probably end up in the class with a B or a C. If you scored not MET on PASS and you're below 50% on MAP, you will probably struggle in an honors class. It's going to be hard for you. You'll have to work pretty hard, and most likely those students end with a D or lower. Don't want to discourage you from taking honors level classes. Just want you to understand that you will have to work. For AP, students at the AP level are motivated and dedicated to schoolwork both inside and outside the classroom. They're committed to homework. They love doing extra reading and they love doing extra research. They're responsible. They're able to multitask, prioritize, and meet deadlines. They are also very prepared and very organized. And they're beyond proficient in reading and writing. These students crave knowledge. You have to remember an AP class is a college level class. You're doing college level work as a freshman in high school. So you have to be ready for that. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to do a lot of work and you might not make an A. But it's worth it because you get you kind of get a feel for what your college classes will be like when you do go to college. The reason we have the different weighting and the reason that we wanted to talk about how honors is a little more difficult and AP is more difficult than honors is how it affects your GPA. Because honors and AP classes are more difficult, you get a little extra weighting in your GPA. If you look up at the top of the uniform grading scale, if you made 100 in a class and it was a college prep class, that class would be worth 4.875 GPA points. So let's say you're taking English 1 and you made 100, you would have a 4.875. But let's say you're taking it at the honors level and made 100. That would be worth a 5.375 grade points. And let's say you took it at the AP level, which, by the way, we don't have English 1 AP, but if we did and you made 100, it would be a 5.875. The expectation is that your grade's not going to be quite as high in an AP class as it would be in an honors or a college prep class. So there's a little bit of buffer for your GPA. This is the 2015-16 District Course Guide. It is available online. You go to lexington1.net, look under Quick Links, look under Publications, and you'll find it right there. We encourage you to download this to your computer so you'll have it ready whenever you need it. The English classes that are available to freshmen are English 1 Part 1 and English 1 Part 2. These are actually two separate classes, and you earn two separate credits. English 1 Part 1 is first semester, and English 1 Part 2 is second semester. This is for students who really struggle in English. It gives them more time to understand the concepts and the curriculum. It just takes the whole English 1 class and it breaks it down and it gives it to them longer, so they have more time to understand. There's also English 1, English 1 Honors, and for those of you that are taking English 1 in the 8th grade, you can take English 2 or English 2 Honors. In math, we have a lot of options. The first one is called Introduction to Algebra and Foundations in Algebra. Again, these are two separate classes and two separate credits. You take Introduction to Algebra first semester and you take Foundations in Algebra second semester. And just like English, it takes the algebra class and it slows it down. It gives the students a lot more time to kind of digest what they're learning, and it doesn't move quite as quickly. This is for students who really struggle in math. Second class is called Foundations in Animation. Most of you will be recommended for Algebra Enrichment and Algebra 1. Again, two separate classes, two separate credits. What we're finding is students who take Algebra Enrichment before they take Algebra 1 score much higher on their final grades in Algebra 1. And we want you to come up here with great grades. We want you to be prepared for our classes. And taking the enrichment class before you take Algebra 1 is a great idea. You could also go straight into Algebra 1. You could go into Algebra 1 Honors. Or for those of you that are in Algebra 1 Honors right now, you could go into Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 Honors. Let me show you some interesting facts about our math classes. For students in the 8th grade who took Algebra 1 Honors and then retook it in the 9th grade, 85% of those students retaking Algebra 1 Honors made lower in their 8th grade, lower than their 8th grade attempt. That means that their 9th grade class, the grade was lower than their 8th grade class grade. Remember, if you retake a class in high school, the 9th grade grade sticks. Even if your 8th grade grade was higher, if you retake the class in the high school, the 8th grade attempt is absolutely erased, and what you make in the 9th grade sticks. For these students, their 8th grade average in Algebra 1 Honors was an 82, but when they retook it in the 9th grade, you can see their average fell to a 78. For students who took Algebra 1 Honors in the 8th grade and repeated Algebra 1 in the 9th grade, but not at the honors level, their final grade did increase by an average of 3 points. Their 8th grade average Algebra 1 honors grade was an 80, and their 9th grade average Algebra 1 grade was an 83. So you can see they did a little better. Students who took pre-algebra in the 8th grade and were recommended for Algebra 1 honors in the 9th grade, none of those students made above an 88 in Algebra 1 honors. And actually, their 8th grade average in pre-algebra was a 96, which is an incredible average. But look, their 9th grade average in Algebra 1 honors was an 81. Basically what we're saying is if you're in pre-algebra or if you're in Algebra 1 honors and you're struggling, please consider taking the Algebra Enrichment class first semester and then take the Algebra 1 class second semester. According to this data, you're going to make a better grade if you do that. Okay, for science, you can take environmental studies, you can take physical science, you can take biology, or you can take biology honors. Remember, biology is required to graduate from high school, and biology is the one science here that's also counted as a lab science for four-year college. In social studies, you can take law education, world geography, world history, AP human geography, and AP world history. Those are your options in social studies. For world language, you can take Spanish, French, Latin, or German. Those are your options for your world language. And then here's a listing of other electives that freshmen can take. We strongly encourage all freshmen to take either PE or ROTC. That Aerospace Science 1 is ROTC. Strongly encourage students to take one of those your 9th grade year. Go ahead, get it, take it, get it out of the way, put it behind you. We also strongly encourage students to take their computer science credit in the 9th grade. On the right-hand side, you'll see some classes with a plus behind it. The plus means that those classes count as your computer science credit. Don't forget about our Centers for Advanced Study. If you are interested in attending one of these centers as an upperclassman, be sure that in your 9th grade year you're taking a lot of the required classes needed for your diploma, so you'll have room in your schedule later on to go to the center. These are some questions I want you to ask yourself as you're choosing what levels of classes to take and what electives to take. Will you be challenged? We want you to take classes that challenge you. We don't want you to sit in a class that's too easy for you, but we also don't want you to overextend yourself. Be sure that you're putting yourself into the right level class. Talk with your 8th grade teachers, talk with your school counselors and your parents about what level you should go into. What's your intended major? What do you think about when you think about going to work after school? If your intended major is something in engineering, you may want to take some engineering electives your freshman year. If your major is computer science, definitely get into some computer science classes your freshman year. That way, a lot of these classes are prerequisites for classes that you'll take later on. Go ahead and get them out of the way. I want you to think about what after-school responsibilities you have. If you're involved in a lot after school, through church, through sports, through fine arts, through community activities, you have to take that in consideration when you're also signing up for classes. An AP class is going to have a lot of homework and there'll be a lot of demands on your time. An honors class will have a lot of demands on your time. And if you're rehearsing after school 4 days a week, that could be very difficult for you. We want you to have a very nice, well-rounded education. We want you taking the hardest classes you possibly can, but we want you to have a balance. We don't want you to overextend yourself. Coming to high school is hard enough. So make sure that you're choosing classes that will challenge you, but that won't overextend you. And do you realize how quickly our classes move? Our classes go twice as fast as what you're used to. You cannot just kind of put it on cruise control until October, November, and then kick it in gear and expect to pass a class by December. Our classes are 90 days. You have to move fast. You have to do your homework. You have to take your retests. As long as you keep up and you're organized and you're on top of everything, you'll be fine. But don't get lazy. Stay to the course. Do everything you need to do. Okay, what happens next? The academic fair is being held in the cafeteria. Your schedules will be available in May. You're going to be meeting with your 8th grade counselor here in the next couple of months, and you're going to choose classes for next year, and your schedules will be available in May. Please check your schedule for accuracy and balance. We don't want all of your academic classes in one semester and all your electives in another, but the computer doesn't know the difference between the two. So if your schedule is unbalanced or if we've just made a mistake, let us know before you leave for school for the summer. Level changes can be requested after final grades are posted. So if you didn't do quite as well in that Algebra 1 honors class as you thought you would and you want to make a change for next year's math level, you absolutely can do that. Request your changes before summer break. And I want to let everybody know that changes in the master schedule will occur over the summer. It will happen. You will get a good schedule in August when you come in for registration. That one will have your teachers' names on it, your room numbers on it, and that's a pretty set schedule. What you get in May is just kind of this is what we think we're going to do. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact the Lexington High School Counseling Department. Our number is 821-3420.